Welcome back to Lexus Revival Garage. My name is Mark, and today we're going to be taking a little bit of a break from our ES300 because our beloved LS430 desperately needs some new front brakes. So about 6 or 8 months ago, I started to notice like the grinding sound or a rubbing sound depending on the speed I was braking at I presume the front brakes, because I did the rear brakes last year, replaced everything that was there with OEM, and things are beautiful on the back side. But I never got to the front side because, I thought they were fine. But like I said, 6 or 8 months ago, I started to have some noises from the front end and a little bit of a shimmy. And I know the brakes in the front are not original. So we're gonna go ahead and replace those with OEM brakes today and get this LS430 back to the shape it should be in. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and take the wheel off. We'll do the passenger side first. I've got a breaker bar here with a 21mm socket on it, and that should be what we need to just break these loose, and then we'll go ahead and raise the car up. At this point, I'm going to use one of these tire irons. I actually have this in the car with me at all times because in the event I do get a flat, this is way better than trying to use the tire iron that it comes with. Once we get the tire off, this is kind of what we're working with here. So this is our brake wear sensor. This is currently not tripped on the vehicle. We'll be reinstalling that one once we get everything back together. We're going to go ahead and remove the pads themselves. And the LS430, ironically, is probably the easiest car I've ever done brake pads on, because all you have to do is take off. There's a like a cotter pin over here, right here. You take that off, and then you remove this little bar here. This comes off and the pads can just slide right out. But then, of course, we're not just doing pads. We're going to go ahead and do the rotors as well. So we'll be taking off the entire caliper and the rotor and replacing everything you see here. So let's go for it. Not sure if the camera's able to pick it up, but right here is our cotter pin. Now we should be able to get this out of here. Here we go. So what flew off here was the retaining bracket. I may not be able to get these pads out until I get the, oh gosh, yeah, these are in desperate need of replacement. Let me get the caliper out and we'll go from there. I'm going to guess these are 19mm, and I was right. Let's see how much of a fight it gives me today. None whatsoever. Got tired of doing things the slow way. Caliper bolts are the same size. They're both pretty freaking huge. And we'll take this whole thing. The rotor's already coming loose for me. I'm very appreciative of that. Take these rusty pads out. And I'm just gonna hang there. Just something to support that so the lines don't get stretched. Okay, let's look at these terrible pads. You can see on the edge here, there's material that's been pushed down. It's all crusty here. So these were not seated as well as they should have been against the rotor. And the original pads for the 430 come with shims, and I can't help but think that this would have not been an issue had they continued to use the shims. So that's what we're going to do here today. And before I forget to do so, I'm going to go ahead and compress the calipers. The way I like to do that, I actually just take a flat piece of metal. Old brake pad should work just fine. That's usually how I do it. And get that in there. And just take a C-clamp and compress the brake caliper back down. Let's go ahead and open up our packages and see what kind of new stuff we got. Okay, so our first package would appear to be our pads and our shims. Haha. So this is what a brand new OEM pad looks like. Look how much more material is on there. There's a part number for the pads, part numbers for the shims. I ordered everything off of Bell, Lexus. And the shims, I'm not gonna take these out until we get ready to put them on, but shims, it's got the clips. It even has a little package of brake grease in there, which you don't need that much at all, so that should be enough. I wonder what could be in this box. There you go, part number for the rotor itself. And there is our OEM LS430 brake rotor. One thing you should always do when you get new rotors is to spray the disc surface itself with brake clean, because the theory is that they put like an oil or a wax coating on these to prevent them from rusting in packaging. So if you spray brake clean on them, that should take care of that. All right, we'll give this a few seconds to dry and we'll just place it on the hub over there. Now, if you go to do your rear brakes on these, there will be holes for the parking brake adjustment. Of course, you don't have that on the front ones, so it doesn't really matter how you put these in. So my inner retentiveness kind of got the best of me here. I noticed in the hub, we have these two little notches, and I went ahead and made sure that these screw holes for presumably what would be used to insert a screw if this was ever seized on here, I went ahead and aligned those two screw holes with those notches on the hub. Not necessary, but yeah, why not? Go ahead and get our two pads here. The way it works with the shims. A couple of things to note in here. There is a little clip that comes in the package with the shims This is for your brake wear sensor. This was missing on the car currently, so I'm going to set this aside and make sure to use that one whenever we get done with this side here. In here, notice there's 8 shims total, but of course we only have 4 pads, so I'm going to set these out. And these aren't as intuitive as the rears because all of these look almost identical. So I have to figure out which way these go. Like I said before, it does come with a little pouch of brake grease, so we're going to go ahead and open that. Just tear off a little tiny bit in the corner. And just put, really don't need that much. About like that on either side. Maybe get a tad more on that one. Smooth that out. Now I need to figure out these are like the same. So I really couldn't find anything online that shows what the difference here may be. However, I did find something when I looked here closer. What appears to be the only visible difference between these shims. If we look at the metallic part here, we can see those are nice straight edges on both of those, and these two are the same. Coming over here, we can see these are angled, so this would tell me I need to move these. The angled little hooks here should be on the inside, one would assume. So I'm going to take off these 2, these 4 really, and then I'm going to take off and clean up the 2 here that shouldn't be there, and we'll get this finally sorted out. Just in case I didn't explain that well enough, I went ahead and made the switch. So we have our angled hooks there, here, there, and here. And then so what we're left with are the pieces that have the more straight on rectangular hooks here in the back, and they're just going to go on top. So this seems like it would make a little more sense because now we don't have that strange issue where, you know, they appear to be directional. So now this is what we're working with. So we have, you know, the cutout up here, cutouts on the top have these brakes oriented the same direction each. The cutout on the inner piece is on top, whereas on the piece that goes on the outside, the cutout's in the bottom corner. So now we don't have to worry so much about where each one goes. They can just go in whichever direction we feel like. I'm gonna go ahead and kind of clean these off again really quick, and we'll get to installing them. All right. And they just simply slide right on in. Second pad. Now what we need to do is get our little clip for the brake wear sensor and get that placed in here. May need to take this back out. Okay, had to take the pad back out so I can get the wear sensor clip in there. This needs to go. Get your wear sensor cable plugged into place, and then clip that around it. Now your brake pad can go in. Okay, now we've got our stuff in place. We can go ahead and put our bracket back on here, and then we can put this back through. Okay, we're going to grab our cotter pin and run it through. Okay, so the final product here, just so you can kind of see the order which everything goes. Once you get your pin through there, you've got the cotter pin, then you've got the clip for the brake wear sensor, your shims, brake pad, rotor, brake pad, and more shims. And so this is looking much better than before. I'm gonna go ahead and do the other side. I'm not gonna worry about filming that because the process is the same, actually a little easier because you don't have to deal with the brake wear sensor. That is only on the passenger side of the vehicle, front and back. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the other side, and then we should be done. All right, we got both sets of brakes installed on the front. We're gonna go ahead and turn the car on here. What we need to do is make sure we pump the brakes a few times because we did compress those calipers. So I'm gonna pump. Notice my foot goes way down there and it's way too easy to press. Now it's a little bit harder, a little harder, and that should be about right. So feels good. Well, I hope you guys found this video helpful and informative. I'm glad to test out these new brake pads and rotors and see how much better it sounds and feels and handles. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video. Take care, everybody.